I can't claim I enjoy talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but there's a problem here. She is a snowball rolling down a hill. The more she gets, the higher her profile, the more impact she has, and the worse things get because of her, and then people will talk about her, plain and simple. She has over 3 million followers. She headlined a protest against Amazon. She wants to claim now, I didn't do anything. It's not even in my district. No, you went down to the financial district, you joined a bunch of activists, and led the charge against Amazon. Even if you weren't the most active, you are the most prominent and highest profile individual. Well, guess what? A new billboard has emerged in, I believe, Times Square, saying 25,000 lost NYC jobs, $4 billion in lost wages, $12 billion in lost economic activity for New York. Thanks for nothing, AOC. And this is from the Job Creators Network. This is from the Daily Caller. A giant digital billboard in Times Square is calling out freshman Democratic New York rep Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for her supposed role in sinking the city's deal with Amazon. The billboard, paid for by business advocacy group Jobs Creators Network, details just a few of the things New York may have lost when the deal went sideways. And that's basically the whole thing for the most part. They have a tweet that say $3.8 billion in lost wages, using a 5x multiplier effect, $19 billion lost local economic expansion and related jobs, thanks for nothing. So, according to the article, even the first order of effects of the deal's failure could prove devastating for New York. Right. Well, here's what Cortez said. Someone said, I'm amazed that this Amazon pullout is now being placed on AOC. She said, yes, I'm laughing at this. Amazon was not coming to my congressional district, had no concerted outreach to us that I'm aware of. Yet with no effort, I defeated the richest man in the world. She is a dangerous lunatic. She headlined a protest event in New York. I don't think you can say that for any of the other politicians who were speaking out against Amazon. She is unique in that she rallied her 3 million followers and called it a victory and then went, what can I say? If we're willing to give away $3 billion, we could invest that in the city. What? No, but it gets better because now she's claiming she knows what she's talking about. Dude, oh my God. Listen, AOC, when you're wrong, just admit it. Instead of trying to somehow defend your nonsensical, idiotic statements. Wow. The sheer tenacity required to say bullshit and then try and find a way to justify said bullshit. Well, here we go. Ocasio-Cortez explodes over people saying she didn't understand the deal. Let me first make a point. They like to say conservatives are obsessed with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Well, I'm not a conservative. But what they'll do is, no, you must be a conservative because only conservatives are criticizing her. That's not true. You can't call Bill de Blasio a conservative, can you? Because Bill de Blasio is one of the most vocal people who are yelling at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, calling her not progressive for destroying jobs. And Bill de Blasio is a progressive. Narrative be crumbling. It's not only conservatives who are slamming Cortez for being not intelligent, to be polite, but let's see what she had to say when people were criticizing her. So now everyone, yes, is talking about how she lost nearly $30 billion in tax revenue for NYC over 25 years. But we have a couple tweets that I want to just jump to. Eric Engquist tweeted, I've been telling AOC critics that she is smart. But what do I say when she says nonsense like, we could invest those $3 billion in Amazon tax breaks in our district. We could hire more teachers. We can fix our subways. We can put a lot of people to work for that money. It's not money. Oh my God. And what does she try to do? She tries to push more nonsense. What does she say? Not sure how many pundits talking about Amazon even read the deal or where it was going. $500+ million of the deal was capital grants. That's interesting. 2.5 billion in tax breaks. So hold on. When you said we could invest that $3 billion, I thought you were talking about $3 billion, not 500 million in capital grants. But hold on. Hold on there, Missy. Let me clarify the nuance in this statement. What Amazon had access to was not the city clapping saying we're going to give you whatever you want. It was existing grant structures. It was existing tax breaks. Amazon was going to take advantage of programs that already exist. It wasn't like Amazon went to New York and said, we demand all this money. Amazon went to New York and said, look at all of these wonderful programs that exist for businesses that do these things that we can take advantage of. Some of them, I believe, some of the tax breaks were negotiated, but I read through a ton of stories from the time when this was announced, and they were offered, according to several outlets, including Patch.com local reporting, no direct subsidies, meaning the city of New York did not agree to give cash to Amazon in exchange for them coming there. No, Cortez, you were wrong. The grants you're talking about already exist for businesses that they can take advantage of. It was not special, okay? While I think it's fair to point out there is some nuance and that people were claiming all $3 billion that Amazon could take advantage of was just going to be tax breaks, sure, okay. The point is, Ocasio-Cortez claimed that tax breaks could be spent. Remember when she said that $21 trillion accounting error could finance universal Medicare for all? Wow. Just wow. Yeah. She says, it's fair to ask why we don't invest the capital for public use. Why we don't give working people a tax break. Oh my God, my brain. Let me try to break it down for you. What is the purpose of a grant? Now, first, if you want to criticize Amazon because they're massive, by all means do so. If you want to say that ultimately it was a bad deal for New York, bring out some points to explain that don't involve investing money that doesn't exist. But do you know why grants exist and why they would give a grant to a company? Because the company would generate more in tax revenue. You give a grant to a business. They then spend that grant money. Individuals then receiving that money have to pay an income tax and the sales tax and a bunch of other taxes and real estate taxes, and it creates economic activity which bolsters the economy of the local economy. It bolsters the economy in the local area, which results in. So let me give you an example. If I have $100 and I hire you to do a backflip in exchange for $100, I hand you the cash. You must now pay income tax on that money you received as an individual. And on $100, I think you end up paying nothing. But let's just say you're going to do a standard, let's just call it 20%. You now have $80 to spend. You then hire someone to do a front flip for $80. And they do. You hand them that $80 and they must pay 20% on that. And now they have $64. The government in those two exchanges has made $36. You see how this works? There is an exchange. As you sweep through the various economic activity, the government is taking percentages of every transaction. Now, by all means, argue the government shouldn't be doing that or whatever. This is how economics works. But to act like grants don't make economic sense or that cities are stupid for doing them is insane. Okay. You want to give those grants to teachers? That I can understand. But the idea is when the grants exist and the businesses use them, you will have more money in taxes. You need to seed the investment to get a return, which you can use to spend on teachers. Again, I don't want to defend Amazon. They're one of the biggest companies in the world, like richest guy in the world, sure. But the point is, Ocasio-Cortez is saying things that don't make sense. If people who live in New York want to criticize Amazon, you're free to do so. And I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't live there. But Cortez could at least get her facts straight. Even when she tries to rebut someone criticizing her, she then just counters her own original statement and then continues to misunderstand the point of tax breaks, abatements, grants, and incentives. She says, frankly, the knee-jerk reaction, assuming that I don't understand how tax giveaways to corpse work is disappointing. No, it's because you keep doing it. I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt anymore, AOC. You've got a list of false statements on PolitiFact, and they're left-leaning. Washington Post has given you multiple Pinocchios, and then you started complaining as though you started pushing out this Trumpist rhetoric. I love how they love criticizing Trump for his rhetoric on the press until the press gives them a bad name. Oh, poor politicians. Sorry. She says, there's no way that this deal, one of the biggest giveaways in state history, could possibly have been bad, right? No, it could have, but it was going to be a historic economic boom for the city. And I'm going to lean towards you have no idea what you're talking about. Surely there can't be anything wrong with suddenly announcing a massive restructuring and pricing out of a community without any advance notice or input from them. And then what does she link? Amazon employees are reportedly already buying up apartments. Oh, that's brutal, man. That was brutal. They were already buying apartments in New York City. Could you imagine being an Amazon employee, being told we're relocating to New York, we have this excellent deal, it's going to be great for the economy, and you say, okay. So you start looking for a new place to live. You find your new place to live. You buy your new place to live. And then AOC comes out and goes, too bad. Too bad. She says, or that a technology giant of Big Brother-esque potential was selling notoriously flawed and racially biased facial recognition technology. Okay, look, now you're getting into crazy territory. You want to try and defend yourself over your nonsensical statements. Don't change the subject, plain and simple. But ultimately, I really don't want to talk about her or Amazon anymore, so I'm going to stop right now. I still have this other article, and I got another article too, where she's being dragged by Daily Mail for moving into a luxury apartment in DC with an infinity pool, nonetheless. But I'm not here to criticize someone being successful. No, this is America. Congratulations on becoming a federal politician and getting your access to your infinity pool or whatever and living in your luxury DC apartment. That should never be criticized. But at least get your facts straight, please. I got one more video coming up in a few minutes. Stick around.